Tim, I'll get to you in a moment. Mark, you just called this game, so you're there in the building, and you can really sense the energy that this Houston team brought to the fore. It's just one game. L.A. dropped the first one to Portland, but I wonder what you saw out of Houston that you think might be repeatable.
Well, automatically coming into this series, the one team that I thought the Houston Rockets should stay away from was the Los Angeles Clippers because of their ability to defend the perimeter. Throw three guys that are lockdown defenders in Beverly, Paul, and also Kawhi. This Laker team is a matchup made for this Houston Rockets team. Not saying they'll beat them, but they have a legitimate chance because they have a home run hit in James Harden. It's tough to double team because you play big. As long as they defend the way that they defended today, and then they take care of the basketball, it's going to be a long series in my opinion.
Mark, before I let you go, I'm always interested just in energy. You would recognize that as both a player and a coach. Just what do you recognize out of Houston that they brought tonight? And was it perhaps surprising given that they just came off of this 7-game series against OKC?
No, I think they let their head down. These are two guys in this on this Houston Rockets team that are from Southern California. So this is something that they dreamed of, the opportunity to play against their hometown team, Los Angeles Lakers. 60 points combined between Westbrook and Harden, along with 23 from Eric Gordon. They had their way offensively, and they battled defensively. This is a big-time win for the Houston Rockets.
Mark, appreciate it. Get out of there, get some rest, get some dinner, whatever. Look forward to talking to you down the road. And now, Tim, I'll bring you in, and I'm curious just – I think sometimes we want to have an explanation for everything. You know what I mean? We want to find a reason why something happened. Sometimes just one team kicks the other team's butt. I felt like Houston brought energy and passion that the Lakers really couldn't answer. What'd you see?
Yeah, they did. They did. And look, contrast what Houston looked like tonight with what the Denver Nuggets looked like in their first game. And both of those teams went 7-game series. Denver looked gassed about 4 minutes into the second quarter, and it lasted the rest of the night. This Houston team is a testament to, one, the athletic ability and energy of Russell Westbrook and the intensity of Russell Westbrook. You can say what you want sometimes about him with shot selection and turning the ball over a little bit. That dude is ready. When the lights come on, Russell Westbrook is ready for the challenge. And then James Harden, just his physical strength. You know, he didn't wear down the way a lot of guys would having to play 7 games. So I just thought their readiness was fantastic at the start of this. And then it comes down to this whole series. Who's going to win the matchup? Are the bigs of L.A. going to get to the line more, control the glass, dominate them when they get switches? Or are the Houston Rockets smalls going to be in the paint all day for kick-out threes and beating guys off the dribble to penetration at the rim? Tonight, it was in no contest. The Houston Rockets did everything they wanted to do in all of those matchups, and the Lakers' bigs didn't win any of them. They basically were a standstill on the glass. They shot fewer free throws, and they couldn't keep the ball in front of them pretty much all night whenever they got switches. So chalk the first one up to Houston smalls, and that's what I thought this would come down to, but I just thought the Lakers' bigs would play a lot more physical and tougher and dominate, and they just never got around to it.
And Tim, I guess what I'm alluding to, and Mark as well, I'm going to get your thoughts, Mark, after I ask Tim this. I think what I was talking about with we want to find an explanation for everything. The other night I was wondering, you know, there's so much weight on Houston's shoulders taking on OKC. You can't lose to Chris Paul, right? Because then we're coming for you. You lose to that team in the first round. And are you freed up to just play? You know what I mean? I wonder, is that reasonable to think that that played into this, Tim? Because that feels like it's almost like trying to create an excuse, in a sense, for the Lakers.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. There's no question. It was an enormous sigh of relief. James Harden makes that play at the end of the game. They survived it. And obviously now you're going to feel that sense of fresh air. The question is, will you have the energy to match it? And they did. So look, in game one, yeah, Scott, you're definitely going to feel that. But as the series goes on, if this becomes a back-and-forth series, then, yeah, the pressure will start to mount the deeper you get into it. But if it almost sounds like, is the question, was there just a little bit of house money in game one playing the number one seed when you just survived a 7-gamer against OKC? No question. And Houston played like the team that was more loose. And the more the game went on, I thought the Lakers tightened up, and they actually – about early fourth quarter, they really looked defeated and demoralized. That surprised me for a number one seed in a team that LeBron James leads.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.